Hi, this presentation's title is Which city will be the next financial center of Europe after Brexit? This voice is generated by computer software. I find it is more clear than recording a sound for this presentation. This presentation is divided into 4 parts. Background, the game, solutions and suggestion. The background. Following the UK referendum held on the 23rd of June 2016, a majority of 51.9% people voted to leave European Union than 48.1% vote to remain. UK are asked to leave the European Union by the 29th of March 2019. After Brexit, international banks and firms settled in UK that have many business with other European countries will face much higher taxes than before. Firms like Bank of America announced their detailed plan of a new Paris trading floor with room for 1,000 staff. HSBC moved about 1,000 jobs from London to its existing large operation in Paris. Paris and Frankfurt are the 2 most popular options for banks and firms. Paris is a world well-known big city, offering large enough labor and land supply for long-run business growth. But many consider their cultures may not serious enough for conducting business. Therefore, in the short run, it may take efforts and costs for firms to adopt and change these culture. On the other hand, Frankfurt has long been the biggest rival of London in Europe, it is well established. Therefore the initial setup costs are very low, but it has limited population and land, which may not meet the demand of these firms and banks. Locating to the same city can reduce the setup cost, and communication costs. As Christian Novia, the former French central bank governor said, he thinks banks and assets manager will try to concentrate trading operations in one EU location. Why this is important? As more firms considering moving their operation from London to another European country, it creates an instability in world economy and European economy, reducing the economic growth by increasing transaction costs. Therefore, establishing a new financial center after Brexit efficiently is beneficial to both firms and world economy. So, this leads to the second part of this presentation, the game. To simplify this game, assuming there is only 2 representative firms making decisions, and choose only between Paris and Frankfurt simultaneously. Both firms are rational utility maximizers and have perfect knowledge about the game. Allocating to the same city yield both firms better payoffs, and the game is infinitely repeated. Firms can move again after their initial decision. This is the normal form of the game. If both firm A and firm B choose to move to Paris, they both yield 120. If they both choose to move to Frankfurt, they both get 100. If one choose Paris while other choose Frankfurt, the one choosing Paris get 40, and the one choose Frankfurt get 90. Solving this game. There are 2 Nash equilibrium in this game, Paris, and Frankfurt, As the definition of Nash equilibrium shows, given other firm chooses Paris, a firm is better to choose Paris, and given other firm chooses Frankfurt, a firm is better to choose Frankfurt. In an infinitely repeated game, payoff streams show all payoffs of both firms in all periods. Assuming, in the first round, there is a risk of being betrayed or coordination failure, but after a firm observes another firm's choice, it will switch to the same choice, knowing that the initial possible losses by choosing Paris is compensated by subsequent higher payoffs. As shown in the graph, choosing Paris may only incur a 50 points loss in the first round, and this is compensated by 10 points gain in all subsequent periods. In the long run, firms are maximizing the average of the sum of all period payoff, as shown in the graph. In period 4, the average payoff of choosing Paris is greater than the average payoff of choosing Frankfurt. However, the potential disadvantages caused by initial loss of choosing Paris relative to other firms can induce firms to avoid to be the first choosing Paris. This is also captured by the notion of risk dominance, using the opportunity cost at each Nash equilibrium to compare risk. As shown on the slides, the Nash equilibrium Frankfurt has a higher Nash products than the Nash equilibrium Paris, indicating a less potential losses, and therefore a more stable equilibrium. If both firms avoiding to be the first to choose Paris, they will be stagnated in a Pareto inefficient outcomes, yielding both firm a worse payoff. As shown in the slides, both firms get 100 in every periods, compared to 120 if both choosing Paris. If firms use tit-for-tat strategy, copying what other firm choice last round, it only works when they both choose Paris in the first round, and if they choose different city in the first round, they will fall into a coordination failure. Using expected payoffs. Under 50% beliefs about other firms choosing Paris. Choosing Paris has a lower expected payoffs than choosing Frankfurt. Under 50% beliefs of other choosing Paris as well. This also support firm avoiding to choose Paris at the first round. However, in reality, firms usually have many opportunities to communicate with each other. They express their opinion and plan for recent event. This can lead to a higher prior belief of each firm about other firms' actions. When the beliefs of other choosing Paris increased from 50% to 70%, The expected payoffs of Paris is greater than the expected payoffs of Frankfurt. Higher expected payoffs may induce firms to choose Paris in the first round, and leads both firms to a Pareto-efficient outcome. This leads to the final parts of the presentation, suggestions. Under the assumption lists at the beginning of these presentation, Paris will be the next financial center of Europe after Brexit. Long-run benefits and communication induce firms to choose Paris at the first round. Paris should become the financial center of Europe in a very short time after Brexit. That is the end of this presentation. Thank you very much.